Sanbonani dumelane option. Hello, beautiful people. It is me, Ditshwanelo Mosia, all the way from Kwa Habedi. It is yet another episode, and before I say anything, I would like to just say thank you for the support. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the sharing. Thank you for the comments on Facebook, because I was bombarded with questions on Facebook when I posted my small snippets of what to expect on the episode. I'm trying to move those people from there to the family of YouTube, and hopefully that will happen. So today, as I am suited, you can see today I'm professional. I'm very much professional. I'm going to speak about something very sensitive, although very important, So let's get into it. Let me wear my shades because, as you guys know, I'm a shades person. So today, guys, I'm going to speak about woman hygiene. And the reason why I'm bringing this forth is because I've had a lot of conversations with my male friends, and I've come to understand that men don't really understand why women go through what they go through with their vaginas. And they don't understand the is it complicity? Is it complicity? Well, the difficulty of dealing with a vagina. Do you understand? A vagina is a very, very complicated thing. And there are several things that happen to it that can cause several things. So it's not like black and white, where if you meet a girl and maybe you guys kick it off and then you somehow find her having like a fishy smell or whatever the case may be, that you will just conclude to say that, oh, this girl sleeps around. It's not in most cases that happens. pH imbalances happens by different reasonings. One, it could be that the woman is using a scented soap and maybe too sensitive to the soap, because as we all know, our elders have always told us that a vagina gets cleaned by just water. Do you understand? They even advised against using soap. So you find that us as women, sometimes because the soap smells like strawberry, you feel like, oh, maybe if I bathe with this, my punani will also smell like strawberry, which is not the case, right? So soap can cause pH imbalances. It can cause your bacteria to just be off. It can kill good bacteria, right? Scented pads or scented panty liners, for those that use panty liners every day, right? That also can cause some, odor. And then obviously sexual transmitted diseases. Yes. Your semen can also trigger a pH imbalance, right? So that is also a thing. And then obviously douching, like other people support douching. Some doctors will tell you never, ever, ever to douche, because douching also kills good bacteria, right? When a vagina is too exposed to hot water as well, it causes that to kill good bacteria, good cells. And then you are left with the bad bacteria. Hence, you can have a punani that can smell in some cases. Yeast infection as well can be the cause of that. So I find it very alarming for men to jump to be like, oh, I met this girl, beautiful girl, whatever the case may be, and boom, when we got to doing the deed, her vagina was smelling. And I'm like, why did you conclude that this is because this girl moves around or sleeps around? It's not in most cases that happens. Even with McG previously now, with making, certain comments about mini lamini, in most cases I understood that, okay, cool, we are here where men don't understand how a vagina works. You can be the cause of your girlfriend's pH imbalances, and you guys have to educate yourselves to understand why that happens, so that you don't jump into conclusions or you don't degrade or disrespect a woman because you think they are sleeping around. It's not in most cases. I took the liberty to also just Google some things that can cause a pH imbalance, just so I'm not just speaking out of my nyash, you see. So there's a term called BV. It's called bacteria vaginosis. And this is the most common cause of a fishy smelling discharge. It can be caused by an overgrowth of harmful bacteria. Discharge is usually thin, gray, or white. So when you have BV as a woman, you can just see the symptoms of just looking at your discharge. If you feel like it's usually like thin, or it's looking grayish or white, then you're able to see this. Obviously, on a panty liner, you may not necessarily see the color, but if you're wearing a colorful panty, whether it's black or like a darker color of a panty, you're able to see there's something wrong here, you know. Others, obviously, they will find the vagina probably itching, then they will know something is up when the vagina does that. Because one thing about a punani is that it will forever tell you if there's something wrong. You see, some flu, you can have flu, it's underlining somewhere. Vaginas don't, like, punanis don't work like that. You know, once something is wrong, you can find like a little itch. A discharge can be abnormal. That smelly, fishy odor can be there, and then you will know that, okay, hold up, I need to actually go to the doctor to find out what this is, you know. Avoid going to Google, because you will think that you are left with 2 days and you'll be, you know, gone. So avoid Google by all means. I don't know how to pronounce this, but obviously I will jump to the one I can pronounce before you guys troll me here. So there is, obviously, like I said, that sexually transmitted infections like your STIs can also cause a smell, you know, and obviously discharge will be yellow to green and will have a strong odor. So again, when you wear a darker panty, you are able to check the discharge, or when you are wiping, you are able to also check the discharge. I was even listening to this lady that does waxing, and she was like, just like telling us about women hygiene, to be like, you know what, girls, because I'm waxing your punani, my face has to be by where your punani is. So in most cases, she was just urging that when you go for waxing, make sure that you have showered, make sure that even when you wipe, you don't wipe back to front, you wipe front to back, because sometimes you will be in the toilet to poo-poo, and then your fetus can also just like, the dirt can just go into your vagina, which then can also cause a bacteria vaginosis, you know. So let's just be conscious of that as well when we are easing ourselves, yeah. So like I also mentioned, that the yeast infection can also be the cause of such, and usually the discharge will be thick, will be white, will be odorless. I guess in this case, it's just the thick and the white, but there won't be necessarily odor. But obviously, you know, if mixed with bacteria, it can develop a sour smell, you know. So you must understand that there's now two things. Yeast infection is on its own, but when it mixes with bacteria, bad bacteria, then it can cause like a musty or sour smell, you know, which if there's any smell in your vagina, guys, do not even take it lightly. Already look at what things you can do. Either you are eating yogurt, cranberry also is very good. You can have probiotics. They also, like in most cases, advise that you have probiotics daily, which also can fix the bacteria, right, or the smell, or just like the health down there, you know. Often also yeast infection includes itching, redness, and swelling. Guys, be friends with your punani, right? Take your phone, put it under or a mirror, put it under there, look to see if little Angelina is good. There's no harm in you doing that. Like, look at it. Be like, you know what? My baby, I'm going to take care of you. So anything that is wrong, I'm going to like first glance, go and just attend to it, So please check your punani at all times. Hormonal changes. This is something that I think as women, we really don't think exists, but it does exist. So when your hormones change, it can also change things down there, right? So a diet maybe, or you're not eating well, you're not drinking enough water. There are things that you can do that changes your hormones that then can tend into your punani reacting and acting up, So please also just take that before you think you're dying. Just think, what has changed? What have I been doing that I didn't do before? Or what am I not doing enough? What they are advising here is that for you to know that you need to see a doctor, a professional, because other people do like home remedies to sort things out or whatever the case may be. If there's a strong or fishy odor, doctor straight. Discharge that's yellow, green, or gray, doctors straight. Itching, burning, or swelling, doctors straight. Pain during urination or sex, doctors straight up. Do you understand what I mean? So let's not take things lightly, especially when it comes to our health. Like, I'm not a doctor. Whatever that I'm saying to you today is not necessarily like, oh, okay, it's an expert kind of advice. I'm just speaking because I'm a woman, and because I know that these are like very sensitive and difficult conversations to have, and not so many people want to talk about this kind of conversations because people are afraid that people will think, oh, dear, you've experienced this or whatever the case may be. But in most cases, 100% of women have experienced some kind of uneasiness with their punani. You may not have experienced odor, but you probably have experienced itchiness, swelling, redness, yeast infection, UTI, something. Do you understand what I mean? Which it's not something to be ashamed about. And if you are in a very serious relationship or a relationship with somebody that you trust to have such conversations, please do, so that even when you don't smell something, your partner can say, hey, I was tapping and I was doing this and there was some smell nyana. Do you understand what I mean? And that can be an open conversation between you guys. Because I know that with friends, some back in the day when we were young and whatever the case may be, if you would smell something from your friend, you'll be so afraid to tell your friend because you don't know how to have this conversation. Or you feel like, what if Geli Wankwatela, or this ends our friendship, or you just simply don't want to embarrass your friend. But as friends, as women, I think we owe it to ourselves to be each other's sister's keeper. And if you do smell your cousin, your friend, your neighbor, your helper, whoever that is in your presence, if you do see something wrong or smell something, just tell the fellow women so that they can get themselves checked out, because I know that other people just think, oh, I'm just a person that smells, because they don't know that this is medical. They don't know this can actually be solved by just you going to the clinic, the hospital, or the doctor. Do you understand what I mean? So daily checkups every now and then are very good as well, because you are able to know what is wrong and what you need to fix. And I think with men, what I would say is that be kind. Just be kind. Don't automatically assume that because you smelled a certain odor, it's because your woman is doing other things with other people. Trust that you could have been the cause. You could have stepped out, did other things unprotected, and came back and gave whatever it is that you collected somewhere else to her. Because, guys, this thing is intertwined. Nobody just, no, you have to have done something for you to develop whatever it is. Whether it's you using soap, you douching, you killing good bacteria by scented things, that can happen. A vagina is not meant to smell like flowers. It has its own smell, and it has its own healthy smell. So when a smell is not healthy, please go see a doctor. Right? And I want to speak on another thing, because other people have fetishes and all of this, sexual, what do you call them?
fantasies that they want to have or do, which are threesomes. All right. When you look at a threesome, it's a threesome of 2 girls and 1 guy. All right. Let me tell you, you're gonna have 2 girls that will probably do each other while the guy is watching, whatever the case may be, whatever people like. But you may have that a guy can put in a condom and enter into this girl and choose, oh, I've done my 10 minutes with this one, let me move to this other one. Have you seen a threesome where the guy stops to change the condom? In most cases, probably when these things happen, it's drunken nights and people don't have the time to be like, oh, I'm going into this other one now. Let me quickly change the condom. They can just use the same condom on both girls. And now you're taking the discharge and the semen from this lady to another lady. That can cause bacteria, vaginosis, pH imbalances, STIs, STDs, HIV, everything. Do you understand what I mean? Guys, let's just be conscious with our fantasies because it's not a real thing. It is not. The guy is protected because he's wearing a condom, but you two are not protected. So you may have been infected with HIV by another girl, not even the guy himself. Do you understand what I mean? So we need, as much as we are young and vibrant and we only live once and we want to try all things under the sun, there are things that we need to be very conscious about and make better decisions. Because at the end of the day, our health is our own responsibility, you know? So things like that can also impact your punani's health. Do you understand what I mean? If you have 2 guys, obviously they will both be wearing condoms. They are protected. Do you understand? And somehow you are also protected in a way. But guys, let's be conscious, you know, and men, just be kind and have this kind of conversations with your partners, even if they are not your girlfriend and it's a sex partner, because you guys have allowed yourselves to be sexually active. It means that you guys can have the difficult conversations and have them with care, have the maturity, have the emotional intelligence so that you know, okay, how do I start this conversation? What can that be? And with women, let's be willing to receive the conversation when that is being had with us, because somehow if somebody is telling you something that could be good for you to say, oh, really? So this is what's happening? Let me go to the doctor. It means that that person cares enough to say that, you know. So don't automatically just feel embarrassed by the situation. Just consult the doctor, get yourself checked out, get medicated, and just make better decisions going forward. The douching and steaming and vagina steaming and whatever, because other people put onion in buckets and hot water and they sit and they say it somehow takes out whatever. Apparently that is not safe because the steam is killing the good bacteria that your vagina has to have to fight the bacteria on a daily basis. So guys, let's just educate ourselves so that we can be in a good standing to take care of our yonis. I must start calling it a yoni because a yoni and a punani is much nicer than a vagina. But we need to take care of that because this is where we birth the nation. Do you understand? This is where our babies are going to come out. This is where we find connections with our partners, and it has to be taken care of. Shave, clean it, you know, just take care of it like you would take care of your finances and everything else in your life. So I hope that you listened to understand, and you are not going to take like these judging or whatever the case may be, but you're going to take me like Sis Dolly, who cares and wants to see you blossom and have a healthy yoni. Until next time, I'm probably on a part 2. I'm probably going to speak about men's hygiene. So do check it out as well. Thank you for tuning in. Please do comment. Tell me what your own experiences are. Tell me what you have been told that can, you know, kill good bacteria. You know, tell me anything that you want to tell me. It's about us learning from each other. Until next time, bye.